Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. You came back. In this week's video, what I have for you is another first impression and review of Mani Moguls. So I try their liquids for the very first time. I try their powders for the very first time. So if that's something that you're interested in seeing, go ahead and stick around and let's get into it. They have activator, top coat, and base coat. It's 3 liquids. And they are $8.99 each on their website. These are the colors that I got, and I got them back in February. So clearly I was feeling pink at the time, and purples and reds, and so I got samples for a lot of them. So this is the ½ ounce. This is what it looks like. It's reminds me of Diplomatic. It's the same size. It does have a seal on the inside, which is great. I love it when they're sealed. But and then it also comes in sample, and their samples come in baggies, which personally I don't like. The samples are like $5.50, and the ½ ounces are $8.50. So it's like $3 more, but you get so much more. But also these, like, this is Pinky Promise. These little samples, they're quite the sample, because that's like pretty full in my jar, and I still have all of this left. Like, I don't think this would all fit in here. Like, maybe it would, but it'd be like overfilling, like Sparkle & Co. super full. Can't even use it kind of full. Unless you put like, whatever. You could use it, but by itself you couldn't use it. So, anywho, so that's not my favorite that the samples come in. I would pay like an extra $1 for it to like come in a jar. Personally, I don't know how y'all feel about that, but that's how I feel. So, anywho, that's that. Let's get started here. I'm gonna do Pinky Promise, French Kiss, and Glitterama together, because that feels springy. And these, I love these colors, but they feel a little more fall. So we're gonna do these ones today. So French Kiss, Glitterama, Pinky Promise. I'm gonna do kind of, you know, how I like always do, and do like one ombre nail, one full glitter nail, and then, you know, kind of my other pattern. But I think I'm gonna do French Kiss on these 3 nails, and then do Pinky Promise on my middle finger, and an ombre of Glitterama and Glitterama on my ring finger. So I'm gonna start with French Kiss. I'm super excited to try these liquids. They kind of, the bottle, I haven't even opened them. I'll give them a little twist to make sure they would open, because we all know that can be a problem with some liquids, and they will open. So, but the bottles themselves kind of remind me of Triple D's liquid bottles. So like the cap kind of a little bit. But anyway, I'm gonna get my little liquid layer stand out today, I think. Do a little swipe down the middle. And this color, it feels a little cakey. So we'll see how that works out. Very bubblegummy, very, it's like a fun spring color. It kind of reminds me of strawberry, you know, the mystery box color from Revel's last spring mystery box. Was that last spring? And I don't know anything about these liquids. Of course, as per usual, I didn't look them up. I didn't look up the directions. I don't know how other people feel about them. I don't know if they're slow drying or quick drying. Seems a little slow drying or quick drying, because I missed a spot there on my finger, and also that buckled, so that's sad. But okay, so what you could do when your thing buckles like that is you could take a buffer block and you could buff it really lightly just to smooth it out before you go to your next step. And you don't need to activate it, because it is your bottom layer. As long as it's not your top layer, it's fine. Of course, you want to be really gentle, because you don't want to buff it all the way down. And also you don't want to like buff your nail too much. So if you're going to do that, just be really careful. dang it, buckled again. Okay, well, I don't know. I'm like trying not to put on too much liquid. Like I'm like wiping it off, the brush off on the neck, which also, by the way, it doesn't have a stopper, which I mean usually means that it won't get stuck, glued shut as easily. If you are gonna file, you do want to like make sure that it's like good and dry before you do that. These seem like really thin liquids, and it might be a combination of the powder and the liquid, but it's going on thick, it kind of feels like. I don't know. Also, like I always say, it takes a couple of times using a liquid to really like know the liquid. Like, oh, well, this one needs this or that one needs that, you know, because each liquid is different. Oh, they are quick drying, which means it's a little tough for me to clean around my cuticles. So. And I do not prefer a quick drying base. I don't know about you guys, but that's not for me. I like a little more time to clean up my mistakes. So that would mean I would feel like that you would have to be a little more careful putting your base on because you don't have as much time to cover your sins. I do like 1/2 ounce jars that are these wide jars. I think they're super easy to dip into. I mean, the good thing about quick drying liquids is you can just like get right in there, almost immediately dust it off and go to your next. It does mean that you can move faster. I don't recommend moving faster when you're doing your nails. Alright, Glitterama. The coveted Glitterama. Everybody loves this color, right? It's been a long time I've been wanting to use it, actually. So I got my little baggie so I can push down my glitters. Ooh, oh, it's really, really pretty. So with glitters, I always do like a full 2 dips. And then I lay inside. I always tap before I do that. And then sometimes I put it inside the bag, sometimes I do not. It just depends. I have a feeling a bunch were gonna come off, so I wanted to do it inside the bag so I didn't get it everywhere. Oh, shit. That's good. I didn't spill any. Don't worry, you guys. I got it. What's nice about these flakes is they're not like super duper like hard. Like I feel like some flakes are really like These are not super stiff. So that's nice. Just picking off kind of some of the ones around the edge. Okay, let's dust it off. Do another dip. I feel like glitters like this, it's okay too if some are sticking up, because when you do your clear dip and then you buff and file, you'll just buff and file those ones off and it'll be fine. There are certain glitters that will like turn gray or turn silver if you buff them. I don't feel like this is one of them because it's like iridescent. Super thin and iridescent, so those tend to be better. There's so many that are standing up. It's gonna be fine once I get that covered in clear and buffed and filed. So my e.l.f. brush that I always use, the narrow one. I'm nervous. Wouldn't be a Rachel video if I didn't say that I was nervous at least once, right? Here we go. And with how quick drying this base is, I don't even know if this is gonna work. Yeah, very little stuck to it. Work quickly, work quickly, work quickly. Think less, work more. Haha, that turned out better. What's in it? Give that a little second to dry. I think it's gonna turn out okay though, you guys. It looks crazy right now, but you gotta trust the process. So, let's get some clear dips. Use my glitter clear for the rest of my nails. You know, with a slower drying base, I wouldn't have gotten all these standing up things. this base is just super fast drying and hard to control. But we'll see how that turns out when I file and buff it. Do my best to clear coat it. So I'm putting on like a lot of base just to try and get in all the cracks and crevices, just to kind of encapsulate what's going on. I cannot wait to file and buff this nail, because I bet it's gonna turn out okay. It looks like junk right now, but gotta trust the process. Now it looks like covered junk. I didn't even dust that off. It's a little dust on with my ombre brush. I really want like one of these over here. I like always end up placing things because it never turns out just perfect when you're just doing an ombre. Well, sometimes it turns out pretty good, sometimes it does not, so. Ain't no shame in needing to place. I don't like that one, actually. I don't think I want you on here. Okay. Cool. Get a little more base. Pop it in there. Dust off. Activator. Made a list. Activator is like my favorite part. Oh my god. Okay, filing buffing. I'm gonna use a 100 grit. This is just 100 on this nail. I'm gonna go straight for this one first. I really drive me crazy. Okay. I think that looks great. It's pretty smooth. I might give it another little buff. But yeah, see, trust the process. Let's do the rest of them. Okay. Let's get these top coated. Best part. I like top coating. Actually. So, activator, top coat. Lint-free wipes. Activate all the fingernails. Let's go. Okay. Lint-free wipe. I'm assuming it's the same as it always is with top coat. And I'm wiping it on a lint-free wipe before returning it to the bottle. Seems pretty self-leveling to me. The second coat, I don't return it to the bottle, and I take more time perfecting the top coat. I like this top coat, I think. See how it dries. Seems like it's gonna be good though. Alright, I am going to clean my hands up, get some cuticle oil on, and get a picture. So what did you guys think of this video? Did you like this video? I have to say, after using Mani Moguls liquids, the dip powders, I was okay with the dip powders. I thought they were pretty, you know, average dip powders. The French Kiss one was kind of cakey, but some of the other ones were really good. I do have to say, Glitterama, man, that color is like kind of difficult to use. It's like probably the most difficult chunky glitter I've ever worked with. And I feel like that is mostly because Mani Moguls liquids dry so fast. And I don't know if it's because I was putting on very thin layers or what, but I found that the liquids dried really, really quickly. I also did not like the brush. I did not like the base. I just found it really hard to control. It was like super lumpy. It took a long time for me to like file and buff, I felt like, and they turned out fine, but like not my favorite liquids. I wouldn't say that they're the worst liquids that I've ever tried, but they are definitely not my favorite liquids. I really like the top coat. I do have to say, I do really, really like the top coat. The top coat is something that I probably will use again, although I do prefer Triple Vitamins top coat. I just did a mani and I don't want to show them to you because I haven't posted them yet. But I just did a mani and I did one hand of Mani Moguls and one hand Triple Vitamin, and the Triple Vitamin is shinier, so. I also do have to say, I knocked over my bottles 3 times. 3 times I knocked the bottles over, and the activator I knocked over and spilt like half the bottle, and I never knock my bottles over. So I don't know what it is. Are they top heavy? I don't know what it is, but the bottles are super easy to knock over. And yes, I am a clumsy person, but again, I've never spilt my Triple Vitamin liquids. I've never spilt Diplomatic, Diplicious. I've never spilt Nail Addiction. I've never spilt any of the other liquids that I've ever used. Have I ever spilt them? Aisle 21? None of them. Only these ones. So take that for what it is. Yeah, I hope that you found this video useful. I hope that you found it helpful. I hope that if you feel like using Mani Moguls, I have not turned you off to it, because I am a huge advocate for there are liquids for every person, and the same liquids do not work the same for every person. And I also think that sometimes liquids take a few tries to get used to be able to know how they work exactly. So yeah, that's all I got for you this week, you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week. It's warm. Burnt myself with my curling wand, and that sucks really bad, and I don't like it at all. God, it's bright. Fuck. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than gold. It's better than. Oh, what is it? Do you see it? Where is it? Goodbye. Thanks for your cameo. We appreciate it. Oh my god, it's so bright. Who listened to R&B music? I had like a boombox in my room when I was a kid, and I would stand right in front, like this close in front of it, and just like belt out like Boys to Men and Mariah Carey, and oh my goodness.